Hey lovelies, it's Allie, and for today's video I wanted to talk about a subject that has been very important in my life for the last 7 or 8 years. And it's a subject that a lot of people come to me for advice or ask me about. I really wanted to talk about it. So the topic of today's video is long distance relationships. Are they really worth it? And if you know me, you probably are thinking that I'm going to say no, considering everything I've been through, but maybe that's not my answer. I have been in 2 long-distance relationships. I met a guy online on MySpace when I was about 23. He lived in Wisconsin, and I'm in Southern California. And it just quickly blossomed into something. Before I knew it, I was in a long-distance relationship. It was easier for me because I have anxiety, social anxiety. I'm really nervous to go out and hang out with people, so it was easier for me because we got to know each other first online. That relationship lasted about 5 years. We did spend time together. Since I wasn't working. Let me throw my dog out really fast because she's starting to huff and bark. So just yeah. Okay, so that's what I deal with daily. So yeah, that relationship lasted about 5 years. It was not a healthy relationship. The first 2 years were okay. The last, no. But we did talk daily. We talked often, and I think that was the biggest reason why I didn't want to end it, even though I knew it was unhealthy, is that I had somebody to talk to, because I'm so shy that I don't let a lot of people in my life, and it was just a very bad situation. So after that, I really did not want to do another long distance relationship because it just wore me out. But I fell for somebody on Tumblr, and I didn't mean to, but it happened. And that relationship lasted almost 3 years, and actually just ended on Halloween of last year. He lives in Canada, in Saskatchewan, and again, I'm in Southern California, so now it was an international relationship. There was a border between us, so passports had to be acquired, and I had to get on a plane because in my previous relationship, I'm terrified of flying. I would not fly. So he would fly out here, and we would drive my Mustang across country. I'd stay a few weeks, months, and then we'd drive back. He'd fly home, things like that. With this, I had to fly, he had to fly, so we tried to see each other 3 times a year. We didn't meet in person until a year after we started talking online about. But yeah, we spent maybe total 5 weeks together in person. And it just, I didn't see it coming, but it came to an end, and I finally realized that it needed to. It wasn't, I don't think it was unhealthy per se, like there wasn't cheating or anything or lying. It was a lot of stress. So let me talk about important things that need to be done if you want to be in a long distance relationship. The absolute most important thing is communication. You have to communicate. And that was a problem for me. I love to communicate. I love to talk. I love to when I'm sad, I reach out to people. I like to talk. I like to call. I like to have somebody to talk to. And other people don't. And that's really hard in a long distance relationship because you have to communicate. You have to be open to one another because you don't get to go to bed with that person at night. You don't get to eat dinner with them or go to the movies, except for the times that you visit one another. You just have your words. You have communication. And I think that Skyping daily, or webcamming, FaceTiming, whatever, is extremely important. Even if it is just to say goodnight. Even if you had such a busy day and you can only get on your webcam or whatever, or FaceTime, for 5 minutes to tell the other person goodnight, that lets them know that you care about them and you're there for them and you love them and they're important enough for you to do that. Because that's all you have is words. I know of a successful long-distance relationship. They're now married and live together, where they Skyped constantly, or at least had the phone on so they felt like they were with each other, and I think that's important. Texting is not enough. Just texting. You need to see each other even through a screen. You need to talk with your voices. To me, that's very important. I also think another important thing is like sending each other little things every once in a while, like little pick-me-ups or little goofy gifts, or just things to make them smile. Cards. I think that's important. That happened more in my first relationship. Again, I don't want to talk about that too much because it really was unhealthy. It was a bad relationship. There was a lot of lies from his end, but the good parts of it was there was a lot of communication. Unfortunately, most of it was lies. Definitely communication, sending gifts, and I think they're definitely, after a while, because obviously in the beginning it's new, you don't know if you're going to be with this person, you don't know if you're going to move in with this person, but when it gets to that point where you want to be with that person, it's important to have a set plan, a set date maybe. You need to actively be working on whoever is moving where. That needs to be something that's happening, because in neither of my relationships did that ever become a set plan where I knew what was happening. It screwed me up so bad, because you constantly think that you're going to be going to bed alone forever. Like, you want to know that you're working towards something and what that is, and instead of just saying, oh, well, they're eventually going to move here. You really need to know. I mean, there needs to be a plan. There needs to be more than just a like, hey, maybe in a few years. I went into both of these relationships. Well, I didn't go into them this way, but I really thought in both of them that they were going to be the one. I felt that way. I wanted to be with not both of them at the same time, but you get what I'm saying. In the relationship, I wanted to be with that person. I wanted that person to move here. I wanted that so bad. And just with no set plan, it was so difficult. I know I'm not perfect, and I made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. It's hard. Relationships are hard, and long-distance relationships are very hard. And you also have to deal with the hurdle of people not believing that it's a real relationship. Because a lot of my family did not believe that it was an actual real thing, that we actually loved each other. They kind of thought it was more of like we'll hang out every few months, but we're not serious kind of deal. And that was really hard, because other people would talk about their relationships like they were something way more than mine, and that really got to me. That can really get to you. So you kind of have to be prepared for that, unfortunately. You have to be prepared for a lot of hurdles, a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of judgment. But do I think they're worth it? If it's the right person and you are both putting in 100% effort, and you have a plan, and you know that that plan is going to work and that plan is going to happen, then yes, I think they're worth it. I have quite a few friends online who are married to the people they met online who lived on the other side of the world or even just a few hours away, but they're married and they have kids, or they own a home and they're so happy, and I love seeing that. Personally, I don't ever want to be in another long distance relationship because total I spent about 8 years in one, well, in two but combined, and it weighed on me so heavily, and I really think that I have a lot of trust issues now, abandonment issues. Airports are awful for me because airports mean goodbye to me. I know that arriving was good, but the goodbyes were much harder. So I kind of look at airports like that, even more so now. Every time they would leave, I always wondered if I'd see them again. Because what if you break up and you break up while you're apart and you're never going to see them? There's just so much to it. And it's so hard, but it can be so worth it and so rewarding. And if you're in one and you both love each other so much and you know that you're going to get to each other and you know that it's what you both want and you both have to want it and you both have to be putting in 100% effort, I support you. I think it's awesome. But if you're in one and you're really doubting everything, either if you're putting in all the effort and the other person isn't, or the other way around, if you're too tired or you don't want to see that person at the end of the day because it's stressful, maybe reconsider, think things over, because it needs to be important. You need to see where you're both at. So I think they're worth it. It just has to be the right conditions, the right people. But it's hard. It's very hard. I've cried so many tears. Not just from the breakups, but during the relationship. So many tears, so many goodbyes. So I've made a rule for myself that whoever I meet in the future has to live within 2 hours of me, because I need to be able to drive to them, and I don't like driving very much. So 2 hours is kind of pushing it. But so hey, if you're a hot bearded dude who is all for feminism and equal rights and body positivity and you live in Los Angeles or anywhere in that area, hit me up, man. But I'd prefer if you lived in the area, because that would be better. Because I'd like to be able to say, hey, I'm going to go over and hang out with whatever his name shall be, and get in my car and be there in 10 minutes. Like, that would be amazing, because I don't know what that's like. And I want to know what that's like. I look forward to that. But before I keep going on and on about it, I should probably end this video here. Just know I support any of you in a long distance relationship. Just make sure you're happy and that it's all worth it, because it can take a toll on you. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build my channel, and I'm trying to work on lighting and getting everything better and editing better. I'm going to get a new video editor because mine is a really old, cheesy one that came with my computer years ago. So I'm trying to get there slowly. I hope the lighting is better on this one. I got a new light yesterday because I knew my videos are kind of dark. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a fantastic day, week, weekend, night, whatever time it is there.